look at this beautiful, beautiful kepra here. Now some people will say it's a scarab. Scarab is a Greek name. We would have called it a keper, and if you see that it has a sun disk above it, it's definitely a kepra. You see the sun disk? So this is a kepra. Kepra is the image of the divine power of the sun once it emerges into light at dawn. Once it comes out of, once it is birthed by the divine woman known as Nut, who is the lady of the heavens. Anika is going to talk a lot about Nut in her lecture, and I think you're going to find it extremely interesting. And so you're seeing a beautiful image of Kepra. In addition to that, understand that the Kemites looked at this particular animal and thought it was extremely divine because it, as Brother Chika told us earlier, laid its eggs in balls of dung. And for those of you who say, what is dung? Dung is doo-doo. It's doo-doo. And it rolls its eggs in this ball of dung in the same direction as the sun. And at the end, this animal, this beetle, comes out of the ball of dung. So they said it almost looked like it was creating itself. And so they considered it the symbol of bringing into being. Kepra means bringer into being. I also think that it's a wonderful analogy for the life that we have to lead. Because you can do divine things, but you gotta take care of your doo-doo first. And so clearly, the Kepra understood that if you didn't take care of it and see that your divine transformation could actually be lying in the doo-doo that you have, in the baggage that you have, in the problems that you have, if you didn't overcome those things, you could not be a divine being. I think that's another reason why they thought that this image was so divine.
The tour was extraordinary. I've been on tours with Jabari and Anika before, and they are so scholastically exquisite. They tell you, instead of using the Greek and Roman terms, what the Kemetic terms are. I mean, the fact that they are so knowledgeable about the artifacts and the information that's presented, and they're able to align us, African people, with our ancient origins and show us how the dynasties have, really embedded our African history and the knowledge of our ancient ancestors and the symbolism of what they've taught us about our divine nature in the universe is extraordinary. I love you, Jabari and Anika. You all are awesome. If you have not gone on any of their tours, you need to go now. Sign up. It's not about the money, it's about the information and the resonance that you feel reconnecting with your ancestors. Right on!
The ancient Kemites had many ceremonies and rituals, many. And one of them was the protection of pregnant women and children. It's a continual thing that comes forth. And that's because they're not just talking often about children, but they're also talking about the child within us, that which needs to grow, that which needs to be nurtured, so that you'll see this imagery often. We're going to talk more about it when we get to talk about the Black Madonna in a few moments. But that piece was actually part of a curved staff that would have been used to encircle a woman on her pregnancy bed. And they would have done ceremonies to this woman as she gave birth. So who knows how many Africans that thing helped bring into the world? Who knows? Who knows? Many of the pieces that you see were actually in tombs. So several of them were never expected to be seen ever again in life. They were used once and entombed. That piece there probably was used who knows how many times in an actual ceremony for people coming into the world. So for me, it's actually a more important piece than many of the ones that you see there.
Jabari and Anika, I want to thank you for your presentation. It was very well presented, very clear, very insightful. Teaches about African history and where we our relation to Kemet was very, very profound. I advise anyone to take this, and the DVDs are very instrumental for our history and for our as an educational tool. I want to thank you and wish you continued success. Thank you.
Don't miss the Center for the Restoration of Ma'at's African Center Museum tours. Continue your search for the truth at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Brooklyn Museum, Philadelphia's Penn Museum, and the Boston Museum. You can also travel to Kemet, the land of our ancestors, with the Center for the Restoration of Ma'at in August of 2011.
Jabari and Anika, I want to say your tour of King Tut in New York City was awesome. It opened up doors for young people and as well as old to find out their roots and where they came from before slavery. And it's something that we all should know. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.